Hello.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
You start freestyling?
Nah. What's good, America? It's Matt Casey here. As always, I'm joined by my dude, Marty Ward. This is the Same Cloth podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We're just cut differently, baby.
Mm-hmm.
What's
One,
good,
two.
man? How you been?
Good, man. Good. Just got back from
Oh,
Texas.
yeah, how was that? How was that?
Crazy trip, man.
Yeah, I
We
shouldn't
had to,
mess with you. I shouldn't
we,
mess with you.
we had to sit in traffic for 3 hours straight. So when you're going from Lakeland or Central Florida to Texas, you gotta go 75 to 10, and then like 10 all the way to Houston. And we had to we drove through the night. We left late, like it was like a 12-hour delay in our departure time. So we didn't get out of there till like Wednesday at like 4:30 in the
Oof.
afternoon. We're like, you know
Okay.
what? We're gonna drive all the way through the night. Me and my father-in-law Rick. And so we start driving, and next thing you know, we start hitting fog and nasty weather when we get into like Mississippi, and then we get to Louisiana, and Louisiana's rough. 2-lane
So
road, I-10 all the way.
so you go through. I've never made that trip. This is
Of
year
course you
six
have.
in Florida. I've never
Yeah,
made the trip to,
the Panhandle.
um, yeah, the Panhandle. Is you go through New Orleans?
No, you go around it. You take instead of going 10 west through New Orleans, you take 12 west, and it brings you up north of New Orleans, so you don't have to go down in the state. So you stay like just on a straight path across. So we stop at this Love's truck stop because my father-in-law's over there. He's about to pass out, and it's fog, and I'm like sleeping in the passenger seat, and I looked over at him, and I'm like, Rick, we can stop whenever. And he's like, Rick, he's driving. He's like, man, maybe we should pull over. I'm like,
Oh
yeah,
man.
maybe we should pull over. So we stop at this Love's truck stop, and we're sitting there, and it's foggy, and nothing's moving. We try and get like 2 hours of sleep in a truck stop parking lot, and like I'm sleeping in the back, he's sleeping in the passenger seat, and then we get back on the road, right? And we're driving,
Yep.
and we're like, all right, we're only, I don't know, we're only 4 hours from Houston, so we got 8 hours left. We're good. We'll be there by 9:45.
Right.
Like,
Right.
and we get to like right outside of Beaumont, Texas, right on the border of Louisiana and Texas,
Okay.
and it just stops. Traffic, 5:30 in the morning, just
Bro.
stopped. 4-car pile up, right? 3 hours we didn't move. 3 hours.
Now, how caffeinated were you at the time, or was Rick?
At, at that point, we weren't very, very caffeinated because we just kind of woke up from Love's.
That's
So
the worst. That's
that's
the
what I
worst.
mean.
So not only is that worst, like the worst like situation to be in as the driver, but if I'm next to you, or
Yeah.
let's say I'm behind you. Let's say I'm
Okay.
behind Rick. All right.
Mhm.
Rick's getting bored. He's getting a little tired.
Yeah.
His attention span is decreasing by the second.
The
So
excitement's
when
wearing off at that
Oh,
point. Like
without a
you're
doubt.
like,
So you're driving, and all of a sudden you get to this stop, right? You get to
yeah.
this 3 hour delay, and Rick's the guy that puts his foot on the brake, and everybody stopped. And when they start moving, Rick's the guy, might be yawning, might be sleeping, might be, trying to not be
Yeah.
asleep, but he's letting that car ahead of him get about, I don't know, 30 yards ahead. And I'm the guy behind you being
Okay.
like, like, and then you finally speed up to catch up to that car ahead of you. So
Yeah.
I speed up,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden you slam on your brakes because now you're
So,
there, and I
but
had
this
no clue. I thought it
the
was going.
best part about this whole thing is when we stopped, we were so tired. Like literally, we passed out.
So
It, like just like he was sleeping, I was sleeping, and then I woke up to Erica called me, and I woke up and she's like, hey, what are you guys doing? And Rick's phone starts ringing, so that wakes us both up, and we're in the same spot. Like I put the truck in park, and
mm,
we passed out for like 35 minutes in
mm.
traffic. And I'm like, this is just ridiculous. All we got in the
So
truck is guns and beer. That's all we had. Like guns, beer, maybe some beef jerky.
what kind of beer? What kind of beer? That's the big question.
We brought we like to bring some beer over to Texas from the East Coast. So we went
Okay,
to
some
Brew
some
Hub.
highlight.
Yeah, well, not Highlight, but Brew Hub here in Lakeland brews their own kind of beer in like Swan City.
More local.
Yeah, like Rome City IPA is like the Lakeland IPA. So I brought a bunch of that. I brought some Headbanger IPA, which is from the Tampa Brewing Company.
Okay.
Diver Down, and then there's this one company called Oyster City Brewing Company, and they make a really good imperial brown. It's called Hooter Brown. It's really good. So
yeah, you don't realize how big Cigar City has gotten.
Cigar City's massive. They got bought by Oscar Blues. Oscar Blues, one of the biggest craft brewery companies in the world, and they have operations up in Brevard, North Carolina too. So like Cigar City literally brews beer here and distributes it in Florida, and then they have a brewery up in Brevard, North Carolina that distributes beer and brews beer as well. Oscar Blues Brewery. That's their parent company now.
Huh. Yeah, man. Yeah, Highlight's been a thing of mine, man. I got a buddy who I won't even get into that story, but you know, we get a sixer of Highlight and sit by a fire every once in a while. You know what I'm saying?
I like the high low they got out now. It's like 110 calories. Yo,
all right.
Yeah.
Well, you know, as 30 pluses approaching 40.
You're 40 approaching.
Bro, I'm getting there, man. I'm getting there. And you know, caloric intake is a thing nowadays. Sucks. But
so that was my trip, man. Then we came back, and when we came back, we stopped at a hotel somewhere along the way. And so wouldn't it be our luck when we're traveling back from Texas after, you know, having a great hunt and taking care of business? I'll show you this picture here, one of the bucks we got here. That's my buck there. That's a 9.140 class whitetail.
Oh, boy,
beautiful.
Look at that guy.
Oh, he's a big boy.
Where'd you get him?
The Dilworth Ranch in South Texas. Super exclusive. Like you can't go online and book an appointment. Like you got to know people. It's really a cool gig. So we're able to go out there pretty much every year and take some deer down. It's a lot of fun for us. But so we're driving back, and we drove through a tornado on the way back. 5 hours
in December.
In Louisiana again.
Oh my God. Hey, funny story. I know we spoke about this a little bit in preparation for the podcast. Just for you guys out there that are listening, Marty showed me that buck very proudly, and my immediate response was, "Hey, is that a moose or a deer?"
A moose. You're a clown, man.
I'm a city slicker, bro.
You grew up in Syracuse, though, man. You had deer walking through your front yard. You probably didn't know it.
Man, I didn't leave the city.
I know. Tell you what,
I didn't leave the city.
Tell you what, the Ithaca, then
until I went to
south.
1 hour, and I knew 3 different ways, and I only went the fastest one.
You can go to back roads, the Ithaca too.
You could.
Takes a little time.
You don't want to do that when it's snowing though. Mm-hmm. Stay local or stay visible.
Actually, let's touch on that real quick. All the folk back home getting hit with some snow. That's a shame.
Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody in the queues. 315. Anybody that is upstate. We extend out to the west.
Mm-hmm.
Rochester, Buffalo. Marty's a big Buffalo Bills fan.
Mm-hmm.
Even those guys a little bit south that call themselves upstate but really aren't upstate. Those Westchester, White Plains, those guys that everybody in the city calls upstate, but they ain't upstate. We represent all you guys, even the city, even the island. So sucks up north though. They're getting they're getting pelted. I'm getting text messages from a mom and the boys back home, man. It's not looking good. Actually, I got a text message. My friends are pushing 40 as well. I got a text message.
I'm pushing 40, dog.
Well, I'm getting there, man. So we I was Keenan and Dip and some of our guys that we grew up with, and Tarad, and they were all talking about, oh yeah, we got hit with snow, blah 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 blah. Got to go out and shovel.
Yeah.
And the next person chimes in, is like, yeah, I already got 900 steps in today, or 9,000 steps in.
9,000.
I'm good.
Steps.
I got my cardio in.
God, your Garmin.
Yo, the snow presents opportunity.
No doubt.
opportunity,
No doubt.
you know, to get in shape, to get that cardio in during a quarantine era. You know, that's the type of guys we're around, man. Take advantage of the opportunities.
Still am, baby.
For sure. But
let's jump into
hey, let's jump into this. Let's jump into this.
Right.
You know, we like to start off our podcast with you know, Marty and I, you know, we both grew up athletes, huge into sports, and transitioned to our post-playing careers as now we're coaches and mentors and educators. So sports have been and we use sports as the vehicle for that. So sports have been a big big part of our life rather. So we'd like to start off these episodes with some kind of sports segment. And, you know, being that we are both, you know, high level lacrosse players, you know, Marty was a 3-time world lacrosse competitor with the Iroquois national team. And you know, I played 9 years in the MLL, which we're going to get on.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. You know, rest in peace, man. Pour out a little liquor for them.
A lot of people lost their jobs yesterday.
We're going to get on that. But, you know, one thing that we've had informal conversations about, and I'm sure a lot of you that are listening have had the same conversations if you're a lacrosse fan, is, you know, we're passionate about the sport. You know, the sport's been great to us. But it's still like in the minor leagues when you're talking about major sports in America.
Yep.
You know, you got your basketball, your NBA, you got your football and NFL, college football, all that stuff. You got, you know, baseball, the national sport, and the MLB, and then obviously you got hockey. Yep. With the NHL, which actually in you know about a decade ago or maybe a little bit shorter, took a little hit. You know, they struck.
They went on strike, man.
Yeah, that strike, and they had to, you know, recalibrate and reassess, and now they're thriving.
They came back better
for sure. So you got your 4 major sports. We've always had those conversations. What does it take for lacrosse to jump into that major sport?
Yeah.
In the U.S. category. So, with that being said, Marty, your first take on that?
I'll touch on that. I think a lot of it is the money side. You know, being able to pay the talent. Obviously, the marketing side has been great with the PLL, and when they signed that deal with the NBC Sports, great opportunity to get out there. You know, their model with it becoming like a traveling band, you know, around the country was really good and really well received. You know, and it kind of shows, you know, that there is that growth at the field level in America, and it can be something that can be watched on a Sunday afternoon in mid-July when there's, you know, somebody maybe wants to watch something other than baseball, you know. Right. So I do think that until we reach that point where there's a competitive, like super competitive, either minor league system, when you can kind of come out of college and kind of play into the PLL, I think that's the kind of a next step or something to look at. And then I also feel like we should have a junior system in place at the high school level or up to 21 into college, like they do in Canada with box lacrosse. I feel like that would be a really cool way for us in the United States to really organize and commit to a lot of those athletes that can be pro guys.
Can you explain to the viewers the junior B, junior A, senior A, you know, all that system in Canada that is, you know, very prevalent that we're knowledgeable of, but I'm not sure when
you hit age 16 in Canada, you can play junior A, B, or C. Right. Like, and there used to be like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 up in BC. I think they've changed it now. So you can have a kid playing junior A from his junior year of school up there through his junior year of college, you know, and be playing with a top junior A program. And what I mean by that is, or a top junior B program, doesn't matter what it is. It's still a system. So that's what I mean is that until our club model turns into a junior model where it's an actually system, where it's actually you're treating the kids semi-professional for what they do, and the kids aren't just showing up 30 minutes before a game at 7:30 in the morning in Delaware, on turf that's 115 degrees, that's not conducive after playing 4 games the day before, and expecting them to compete in front of a sideline full of coaches and get their looks. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think we need to create this model of, this is legit, eight teams, junior A, junior B, whatever it is, and then it's consistency. It's a season. It's playoffs. You know what I mean? It's not like, well, we're gonna go to the Mountain West Lax Classic this weekend. You know what I mean? It's like, just like,
this is, you're talking about, and I think, for the viewers that might not understand the junior system up north, or may not even be like big lacrosse fans, we're talking about basically European youth soccer.
Similar, except it's not owned by a pro club. Like, we don't want it to be owned by a pro club yet.
We don't need it to be like that.
No, we need to stop calling, and we need to stop calling lacrosse uniforms kits as well. Let's just put that out there. And then when did basketball uniforms become kits? Like, I see dudes talking about kits. I'm like, you guys got to stop.
Nah, the jerseys, uniforms. You got jerseys and shorts.
It's not a kit, man.
It's like not a kit.
The home and away kit for like, what do you?
Nah, that's what you bring just in case you get a boo boo.
Yeah, the first aid kit.
The first aid kit. That's a kit.
That's a kit. Not your uniform. Nah. But anyway, sorry for my tangent.
So you're good. You're good. But that makes sense because I think, look, the youth and club lacrosse scene is better than it was when we were growing up.
We didn't have it.
Exactly. So it's already better.
We have rec league.
You know what I'm saying? We've got more people wanting to be coaches. We've got more people wanting to spread the sport than ever before. Participation's growing. But I think, like you said, the organization of where the youth sports are right now is lost. You look at any other. Well, let's look at the two big ones. I'm not very knowledgeable about soccer. Actually, I am. My son started playing soccer, so I'll talk about that in a second. But you talk about football and basketball, probably the 2 biggest sports in this country. There is a governing body that polices, that regulates, and that monitors everything that goes on with youth sports. With youth teams and youth activities in that sport.
U.S. soccer?
I'm talking about for football. There's Pop Warner.
Yep. I think
and now also AAU, but AAU is very prevalent in basketball. Yeah. Like, you can't, like in lacrosse right now, anybody can start up a lacrosse tournament. There's no legislation. There's no regulation. And you get a bunch of teams that are in the area or out of state, and they can come to your tournament and they play. And if you don't have a good tournament director, if you don't have a guy that understands the sport of lacrosse, the history of the sport, understands where we are as a sport, and is more so just a businessman, then
a lot of that going around. A lot of that going on.
Then they'll just take people and put them into a group. A U14 team. They'll take 4, 5, 10 U14 teams, put them into a division, and let them play without vetting, without understanding. All right, well, this team's really good. This team's got 10, players that have never touched a stick before. Yeah. This team is basically a glorified out-of-state travel team. And it's not good for kids developing into, having that opportunity to compete.
Yeah, there's got to be it's got to be a tiered system. It's got to be some sort of breakdown and vetting process, like you said.
Right. And with AAU, everything, in order to do it or to run an AAU tournament in basketball, a youth tournament, you have to register through the governing body. In football, you have to register through Pop Warner or now AAU to host, even a game or a practice. And I think that's where it starts, right? Getting more organized. The participation's growing. The sport's amazing. Seems like our country and our citizens and around the country, everywhere it spreads. Seattle, California, the Midwest, the South. It's huge in Florida.
Yeah, we're just talking lacrosse though.
Georgia. But I'm saying that's where it's got to start. It's got to start with the youth. I think we're in agreement there. But the other side of it, is the professional sports or the professional leagues and in the college game. I think we are.
I want to know, how you feel about, how are we in the college game with no 2-point shot? Right. And then once, I guess, obviously when the pros obviously get bigger, I don't know why we got to wait for it to get bigger. Why can't we just make it bigger? You know what I mean? Why do we have to wait for something it's going to take a little more time? It's lacrosse has been here, baby. There's good players everywhere. There's no reason why it's not some synergy in play there with the rules committee from the NCAA standpoint to maybe the professional leagues. It's you come out of high school and you can't shoot a 3-pointer, you're not going to college. You know what I mean? You're not going to college. You come out of college, you can't shoot a 3-pointer, you're not going to the pros.
Who is you're an NCAA coach. Yeah. Who is the rules committee? What's the rules committees consist of?
It's for 5 or 6 guys.
Who are they though?
They alternate.
Okay, so it's not.
I'm not putting their names out there.
Nah, you ain't.
It's public knowledge though. Go to Google.
Okay. Don't call them out. Here's what I'd say. If I was on the rules committee,
but we got 2 creases though.
If I was on the rules committee, or if I was consulting the rules committee, which I'd rather do personally.
Yes, 100%.
I would consult them. I would advise them to make all decisions, all rule changes conducive of drama. What I mean by that is.
What do you mean by that? Johnny drama?
Drama, straight up drama. Need back and forth. Need nail biters. I got you. All right, the NCAA tournament, the best sporting event that that we have for basketball. That is the NCAA basketball tournament.
Yeah, drama.
Yep. March Madness, the best sporting event, hands down. You can't. I mean, the Super Bowl is up there, but it's one day.
But it's not.
You're talking about. You're talking about 68 teams now.
Yeah, in those 14 days.
Oh, come on, man.
It's awesome every day,
without a doubt. So, but why do we think that's so awesome? Go Cuse! Come on, man. The boys are looking good. We just, gotta play that young boy. I forget the kid's name. Richmond. Kadari
Richmond.
Yeah, that kid's a stud. I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce it.
See Devendorf up there giving out turkeys for Thanksgiving.
Devendorf
does it for the city, man. He does it. I follow him on Twitter. He's got a podcast.
Got a great podcast.
And they're doing it, and he's doing it, but he's doing it the right way. He's not changing for anybody, just doing his thing.
Hey, I'm sure I'll be saying this a lot during our podcast, but the one thing, he wasn't a crazy good athlete. He was
a competitor though.
He was a pretty skilled guy. He could shoot, not remarkably better than anybody else.
No.
But the one thing that made him one of my favorite players in Syracuse history was his heart, man.
That's what I mean. He was a heart guy. You put him on the court and you knew he was going to give you everything he had, regardless.
Without a doubt.
Jimmy B loved him, so it was all.
So let me get back. Let me get back to this March Madness. No, good. I can talk about Cuse hoops all day. We could take it back to DC and Sherm. We can take it back to Lawrence Moten. We could take it back to John Wallace and Jason Sapola and Todd Bergen when they got to. Oh my God. That's come on, man.
Dope.
So the reason why the March Madness, the NCAA tournament, is so spectacular. Obviously, like I pointed out, there's a lot of teams and they play in a short amount of time and there's a lot of games going on. It's cool, right? But the cool thing is that when a team is ahead at the end of a game, there is a chance for the team that is trailing to come back and win, no matter what the score is for the most part. If there's a 3-point shot, there's a shot clock.
Yep. Well, we got the shot clock now, so don't hate too much.
It's still too long,
it's
in my
way
opinion.
Too long. Way too long.
That's not. Yeah. I mean, just look. If you go back 10 years ago, before a shot clock ever existed, like the possessions didn't last that long.
And an 80-second reset, so I can have the rock and I can hit the pipe, right? And it goes out of bounds, and my guy's closer to the ball, and I get an 80-second reset.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, that's crazy.
So when I was playing in MLL, I don't know what it is right now, but it used to be 60 seconds. What is in the PLO?
52.
I love it. I was gonna say.
That's what we use. That's what we use.
60 seconds was too long. 60 seconds was too long.
At Florida Southern, we use 52. Every
great.
6-on-6 possession.
That's
Anything
great.
up and down will go 52-second shot clock.
But bringing March Madness back to college lacrosse, if they implement rules that allow teams to come back.
Yeah. 2-point shots, one of those things.
Like, not prevent teams from, like prevent teams from coming back. Right now, like the face-off prevents teams from coming back.
Oh yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
One goal.
This is not an anti-face-off podcast. Like,
no.
For me, at least, I like face-off guys because I got a knack for recruiting them, and they're good. And
what I don't like,
what
I don't like is changing the rules every 3 seconds.
That's got to stop.
Yeah,
like that's the problem with it. It's just too much tweaking going on.
So here's another getting back to the whole segment, right? How do you go from minor leagues to major leagues? How does lacrosse jump to a major U.S. sport? Besides the money, besides the youth, club teams, besides the marketing, besides the rules. Oh, well, not the rules.
We were just kind of I think we were just talking about a little bit.
It's a generational thing.
Yes.
Yo, I'm gonna, all right, Marty. You're Marty Ward. Okay, Iroquois national team. Currently, the Division II head men's lacrosse coach for the Florida Southern College Mocs.
Yep.
Okay, this guy is through and through. All in, with lacrosse, and he selects when he recruits. I don't want to tell you, how you recruit, but I know you recruit guys that are grinders that want to compete, right? How many times I'm a lacrosse coach as well at a high school level.
Yeah.
But I can't tell you how many times that my kids, like, that are so into the game and are passionate about the sport, they go and they do everything. They go to these camps and clinics and all this stuff, and they come and they stay after. They do all this stuff after practices, after games. But then they go home and their parents have no clue what the sport is. They don't know the rules.
Yeah.
I got two boys. My son comes home and he starts throwing sidearm. I can tell him, like, yo, you can't do that. That's not going to be successful.
Yeah.
I'm sure, like, a lot of kids go home and they.
You said generational, man.
They shoot sidearm in the backyard, and their dad, or their mom is saying, "Oh, cool, son, do it lower."
Yeah.
Like, just little things like that.
Yeah.
Generationally, right now, basketball, football, baseball, parents and grandparents know the rules. They know strategies. They can assist their kids, but they can also watch a sport on TV with their kids and talk about it.
I'll tell you what, nothing will test your knowledge more than trying to talk about a wing T football offense with a Texas high school football coach like I tried last weekend.
How'd that go?
I was like, it was fine because we ran a little bit of wing T with Smitty up at Corcoran, but it was like,
he was like, where are you putting your tackles? How many tight ends?
I was like, I played fullback. He's like, oh, did you have to seal the end a lot? I was actually like the lead, so I get hit every play. He's like, I know. Just like, getting back to that. It's like, so
what gap are they blocking?
Right, like I know the gaps though.
Yeah, everybody knows the A gap.
Give 41. I used to remember that play. It was a
left, right up the middle, baby.
Odds were to the left, evens were to the right. No, the
that's Pop Warner.
That 28 sweep, baby.
28. My man.
So, anyways, just like you were saying, like you could talk football with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was a Heisman Trophy winner, right?
Yep.
Like lacrosse, you can't talk shop with everybody.
Nah. Not
It's gonna
everybody's
take-
gonna know that. Not everybody's gonna know the 23. You know,
But
not everybody's
that's
gonna.
why. But that's why what the PLL did, merging with the MLL, and kind of like this thing, like they conglomerated. Yeah, they did strip a lot of what the MLL had. They only took one team, Boston, over, to their league, and I still think it's going to be good for the game because now it's only one brand for field lacrosse.
I like this transition because this is a topic that's very current. Happened yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
And as a player who played in the MLL, Major League Lacrosse, for 9 years, I'm torn because one, I'm gonna put it like this: I love the innovations that the PLL has come up with. I think their camera angles, their uniforms.
I mean, it's NBC Sports,
not their kits, their uniforms.
NBC Sports.
Their
marketing
deals.
Do you like the soccer walkout? How they walk out side by side together?
Yeah, I mean, Paul Rabel is a huge soccer fan. I think he's a Chelsea fan, if I can remember correctly. So it's not. I don't know. Whatever. I mean, in MLL, we used to have kids. We used to have kids in a line coming out of our tunnel, and they'd announce our name, and we'd run out and high five like kids.
Yeah, that's cool though. I like that.
Yeah, depends on one time I had like 3 like 5-foot kids.
Did you knock
in
a
a
kid
row.
Down?
Well, not 3 5-foot kids, 3 4-foot kids in a row. So I'm like down here. I know I'm up here, 5-foot kid, right up here. Then there's a 4-foot kid, and I'm like gonna high five him, and I hit him in the head.
Smack him in the face.
Yeah, you knocked it. You gotta be careful with that.
Hold on,
you gotta be
quick,
careful
before you move on. Were you on the squad when Mikey Powell took that shot and hit the cheerleader?
I was not. I was
when he hooked it.
No, I was not. I think.
Sorry.
No. Well, this is good because I posted something
20 yards wide.
I posted something about Mikey. He is. I got kids in the background.
It's all right. I got baby.
So anyway, MP, dude, I played in LA for 2 seasons. I got traded to Boston. My first year in Boston, Mikey was on the team. And this is, I think, the year after, or I don't know if it was that season just before I got traded, or if he hit that lady.
Cheerleader.
It was a grandmother, right?
No, it was a cheerleader.
Oh, cheerleader. That's right. So anyway,
I'm not making you laugh. Like that's not a bad thing.
No.
Happens.
No, just the legend of it was.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's
folklore.
Folklore. Yeah, folklore. Anyway, the one thing I was gonna, not really talk about him hitting the girl. I posted something about Mike, man, and I was a big fan, as a Cuse dude, and he went to Syracuse, and I was just coming down to the sport. I didn't start playing until I think I played 1 season before he became a lacrosse player at Syracuse University. So I'm looking for inspiration all over the place, right? I'm looking for, ways to get better because I stunk.
Yep.
And I'm watching this dude, and this dude was just silky, right? And, on TV, the local station, Channel 13 in Syracuse, you can see all the lacrosse games or whatever.
He was the best, man.
He was impressive. But when I got to Boston and I was practicing with him, we used to do like a horseshoe drill, right? And for those of you who don't know, we got, all the shorties, and sometimes the poles would get in, sometimes the poles would just, do their own thing. I don't know. Nobody cares about the defenders. But we'd be on each side of the goal, and this would be a goalie's, worst nightmare. I think like 3 of our goalies tore their ACLs doing this, but partially because of Mikey. No, just kidding. But so we have a right line and a left line. So you have to pass a pass right across the crease.
Yeah.
If you're a righty, you pass it to the lefty comes in, tries to score in tight. Then the next person in line throws a pass to the person who just made the pass. So it's a back and forth, We
call it bucket drill. It's like a bucket drill,
horseshoe drill, whatever you want to call it. And at my first practice, we ended the practice with it. It was just kind of like a fun team bonding. Like you don't really get much out of it. I mean, you get a little practice in tight, but
goalies get better. Goalies get better.
Goalies get better. But if you can't finish in tight, you shouldn't be at that level, right?
No.
So as a shorty, I didn't get much out of it. I just had fun, right? I'm just trying not to drop the pass and embarrass myself. My first practice with this new team. But then there were times like when Mikey was there, I'm just like in the back of the line, like I don't even want to go forward because I'm just watching this dude
play.
And the things that he did so effortlessly, with the stick, with the ball in his stick. It was the smoothest thing I've ever seen. And anyway, I reposted some kind of some video that he had with his brother Ryan at some camp, maybe a decade ago. Yeah. But just the smoothness of his little stick tricks was. Man. Anyway, Stop. Yeah. So the merger. I got some thoughts on the merger.
And I want to hear, do you know any of the guys from the MLL that you think are going to make an impact?
There's studs in the MLL. There's guys.
I got a list, man.
The big name guys are already in the PLL. But I'm gonna tell you right now,
there's some dogs in the MLL.
Lyle's in the MLL.
Yeah, there's some dogs in the MLL.
You got the kid from the lefty from Chesapeake, the kid Tampa. From Maryland. No, the Maryland kid. The played with Heacock. Heacock's
Q's better than Heacock.
Okay.
Straight up. Quote me on it.
Who else you got?
Well, you got Randy Stats, Shane Jackson, Kyle Jackson, Frank Brown.
Yeah,
Sean Scanone should start on the Water Dogs. The goalie
from the purple team.
Yeah, the goalie from the Hammerheads, Connecticut.
Yep.
Should be placed in a PLL expansion draft player pool. He should start for one of those PLL teams in the net. He's that good of a goalie. UMass goalie lineage. Doc Schneider up there just doing great things, and the Gorilla Ball up there they play, man. Sean
Schneider was beast.
Sean Scanone, man, stud.
Okay. So my thing,
face-off guys too, right? Reisman and Max Adler from Denver, two D2 guys, but they're good.
There's gonna be a big
dudes are losing their job. So what happens here? Ooh, I got one. What happens here? What's with the ego of a PLL guy? Because we know PLL guys don't have any ego, right? So the MLL guy comes in and takes the PLL guy's spot, but the PLL guy already branded himself and created a company amongst himself, and now he doesn't have a job. You know what I mean? I like the trenches there now. I like the trenches.
Okay, I see where you
know I'm saying?
Like the competition. You like this competition.
Yes.
Well, I think that's a part that the game needs.
Yes.
And I think the merger. I hope. I haven't talked to Paul about it. I reached out to him one time and hit me back. No offense. No, I'm not trying to throw him under the bus or anything.
You're not clout chasing.
Nah. He's a big dude.
You're not clout chasing.
Nah, but I hope from a strategic standpoint, one of the goals when the PLL was formed was eventually to merge with the MLL. It only made sense. However, I don't see this as a merger.
What do you see it as?
Well, this is a takeover, bro.
Hostile?
I don't know how hostile it was. I'm not going to speculate on that, but I can tell you that when one league has 7 teams, right, and the other team or the other league has 6 teams, and they're supposedly merged, right? That's 13
One
teams.
team made it.
One team makes it. The other 5 are gone.
Yeah, we don't know the ins and outs. We don't know the ins and outs, but this is public perception. Is that
correct?
Right? They took the one team that won the championship. And maybe the ownership group of the other clubs or the other teams. I'm not calling them clubs. I refuse. Kits and clubs can't be called. The other teams and organizations in the MLL maybe said, hey, it's not good enough for us, or the PLL just didn't want to pay all those contracts because that's a lot of money.
Well, that's what they did. That's what they did originally to kind of lure, make that a lure and lure players from the MLL, because remember
the full-time pay,
and benefits. A couple of years ago, there was no PLL for those of you, hopefully you guys know, but
I mean,
for
3 years ago, there was no PLL.
correct. And, how do you get the best players in the world away from the only established professional lacrosse league? You have to give them something more.
You got to
right?
pay the man.
Right. So these guys are offering,
Good
really,
money.
Yeah, decent money. Like these are real salaries.
Livable
real
wages.
Salaries.
Livable wages.
So, and
now that you got
benefits.
2 kids, you better figure something else out.
Yeah.
That's when the brands come in.
Well, yeah. So everybody's doing their own thing aside. They got the camps, they got their
that's good.
They got their endorsements, all that stuff.
Yep.
But again, so it was expensive. So I don't think they had enough resources to pay all 5 teams.
No.
So in my opinion, I definitely feel like the merger. This is a good time to start talking about the merger. But you look back at the NFL, right?
Yep.
AFL, NFL. So the NFL started out early 1900s, 20s maybe, I think. They go through 40 years of beating out all the opponents. It wasn't like the NFL was just there and nobody tried them. Everybody was testing them. They came out with a bunch of different leagues, and there was the NFL either merged with them or kind of defeated them by default. And 1960 was when the AFL formed, and they competed pretty well, but they did something that the PLL did. Yeah. They had new, innovative, creative ways of marketing their brand and their players. Like they had names on the back of their jerseys. Mm-hmm. Before that, the NFL hadn't had that. They had 14 game schedules instead of whatever the NFL had. They had a bunch of different things, and it was innovative, and fans like
the AFL had OJ.
Buffalo Bills, baby.
I'm not.
So anyway, right? So the NFL, the bigger market or the bigger league had a to figure out how they were gonna avoid this competition. The competition elevated both leagues.
Yeah.
But they realized that if they could find a way to marry each other, then things would be good. So they merged in 66.
Yeah.
Now from 66 to 69,
they still had separate championships.
They had separate seasons. Yeah. And then they would have a AFL, NFL championship game.
Yeah, but there was an AFL champion playing the NFL champion.
How cool would that have been if there was an MLL season, PLL season, and then a Super Bowl?
I got to pull that up, but I think I tweeted that as soon as the PLL was announced.
Oh my God, that would.
And you know sick. What? It was like I'm on a Twitter cleanse right now, so I'm not gonna look it up. But I that was already in my brain. Like, bring them both together. And there was a couple dudes saying that, but
and I know the MLL was they were hemorrhaging, man. Money was not. It was tough, and I get that.
They kept the league going for 25 years.
But it would have been really, really special to have a 7-team league and a 6-team league playing their own seasons.
So 25, 23 years maybe.
And then come together for a championship. And again, I think in 1970, so it was like 66 was the merger. 1970, they actually became one league, the NFL with the AFC and the NFC. So eventually they had plans of getting together. And I feel like I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed that they rushed it. And there's 5 teams that are done.
You think they rushed it? I think the MLL just had to go. Like, they just understood that
regardless of the reasons why they rushed it, but they rushed it.
Well, yeah, no doubt. But we don't know. We don't know the meetings that were taking place, right? We don't know if that was all happening this whole time. I mean, Sandy Brown, the commissioner of the MLL, like, we don't know what his intent was when he took over a couple years ago. You got the Rabels out there making power moves, Mike and Paul just taking care of stuff. Yeah. And I think it's like you said, generational. Like I think when we're 60, 65, the game's going to be viewed completely different than it is today. like from a generational standpoint. I'm not gonna say like the wood stickers and the old guys that played back in the day, kind of held the sport from becoming mainstream for a long time, but like the progressiveness was very few and far between from some of those guys. Like the shot clock was fought a long time. You know what I mean? Like at the college level,
which doesn't make sense to me.
So that's what I'm saying. So like, I think when the generations keep moving, the professional side is going to keep growing, and with that growth is going to come opportunity, and with opportunity, people are going to find their way.
Yeah, I mean, you keep it real. You talk about my timeline of the NFL, right? You got the 1920s is the formation of the NFL. The merger was in 1966. That's 46 years. The MLL, PLL, whatever you want to call it, has not been around 2001.
2001, the MLL started.
Also 19
years. 18. I said 25 years.
19. They just finished. Yeah, they just finished the 20 season. So that, I mean. Yeah, we're 20 years away. We're a generation away, Once these college kids have kids and those kids have kids, I think, well, that's 2 generations.
You got to ask, you should ask kids now if they know what Body by Jake is. Jake Steinfeld, that no one knows what that is. I remember when it was news that he was starting this league, I was like, oh, Body by Jake. Yeah, I know who that is. Jake Steinfeld.
Yeah, the guy from Coming to America, the taxi driver.
The taxi driver.
I was so pumped to shake his hand. I was like, man, you're famous. But yeah, I think we both agree that it was inevitable, the merger.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be good for lacrosse. I hope from my selfishly, I just hope all the things that we did, all the trailblazers.
You did. I mean, you guys did.
Don't get forgotten.
No, your whole group. I mean, did a great job getting the league off the ground and getting it going. And you were kind of part of that group when what year did you graduate? 06? 05. So you were part of that group like right after that first kind of era, the first 4 seasons.
The older guys. The old guys started phasing out. But
you were part of that new group. You and a lot of guys came in and made a big difference from that era. And not just like on the field, but culturally as well, like how you presented yourself with the game, how the game was like, you guys kind of brought the game more towards that. It was cool. It was cool. Lacrosse was always cool, but it became a little bit cooler.
Lacrosse where we grew up,
at least around my block, at least where we came from. You know what I mean? Like,
we've got interesting history, right? Like, you being, in the Iroquois, what tribe are you from?
Well, my grandfather's Onondaga, but I'm Cherokee.
Okay, Onondaga. Okay, so that's more than just cool and not cool. That's even deeper than tradition. That's like it's the medicine game, right?
Yeah,
so we've got that filtering, or through our whole Syracuse culture, but at the same time, on the other side, lacrosse wasn't mainstream.
No, it was our
sport, to where we grew up in inner city, Corcoran High School, South Side, Southwest, many people played lacrosse. So
no, but they all knew of it though.
They knew of it.
They all knew of it. When you had that stick, they weren't calling it a butterfly catcher. Like when I went to South Carolina. That was weird.
Oh man. So yeah, I think things are moving in the right direction. We still got time.
Hats off to both those groups.
Shout out, man.
Making sure it's getting going. I'm excited to see the product. I'm excited to renew my NBC Gold, Platinum, whatever pass for the 3rd year in a row. I am a loyal fan of the Premier Lacrosse League.
Yeah, so, man, fired up. Can't wait to see it. NBC Sports, let's go. PLL. Holla back.
So we can get in the rapid fire section here.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. So after we talk about the sports, section or segment, we like to bridge the gap until our next segment with a few rapid fire questions. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask Marty about 4 questions. He's gonna have 60 seconds call it 60 seconds to answer all four.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got to give his answer, a little explanation. Mm-hmm. I'll ask the next one. Put the timer on the clock. All right. Hey, let's go. Okay. Marty, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, man. Favorite type of lacrosse, field or box?
Box.
Okay. Simple enough.
Fast, physical. You get up and down.
Everybody likes to get up and down. All right, man. What's the best way for a high school kid to showcase his abilities? Prospect camps or big time showcases?
Prospect camps.
Why is that? Because
you're on campus talking to the coaches. You get a real feel for what the coaches want and if they really want you. And it's a real easy process for the coaches to go about that.
All right, cool. I respect that. I agree. I like the prospect camp. Narrow it down, five or less. Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. We're Marty and I, again, we're big hip hop fans. That's part of our culture growing up. So two of the legends, two of the GOATs, two of the icons, Nas and Jay-Z. Who you got?
Nas. Nas. I can't. I mean, I love Jigga. He's got such bangers, and he his career's been unbelievable. But like when it comes to Illmatic or Reasonable Doubt, or just the body of work from Nas, and then his ability to create and who he's influenced lyrical wise, and the bars that he spit for so long. I mean, Nas.
Last but not least, you know what? I don't even know. I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna go LeBron or Giannis. Actually, LeBron or the field. Who is the best player in the NBA?
LeBron or who?
Anybody else? Can anybody beat? I had KD down here. Is
like KD's not even nah, not KD. I wouldn't go with KD at all. Right
Kawhi.
Now. I like Kawhi Leonard.
Luka.
I like AD. I'm not gonna argue it, man. Like LeBron is the truth, but I do like Kawhi Leonard's game a lot. Like how he push transition, plays defense. No nonsense guy, but Giannis right now is it's just signed that big deal with Milwaukee, bro. They're keeping him around, man. He's gonna make a lot. He's gonna make a lot of moves, and he's special. He's special. If I gotta put LeBron versus Giannis right now, Giannis is gonna beat him.
Woo! I like it. That's a hot take right there.
Hot take.
I disagree, but I love it.
I know you do. All right, well, we're gonna go with you now. Here we go.
All right, let's go.
You going? All right,
let's go. I'm ready.
All right, we got this a simple one. We touched on a little bit earlier, but youth rec or travel sports?
Youth rec. Okay, youth rec. I'm going 110% travel sports. And I'm going to tell you this right now. Okay. I think the rec programs are really, really important. And well, it depends on what type of travel sport. I think regional, out of state. Out of states for the birds. Okay. I'm going regional travel.
Okay. I like that. Tupac or Biggie? See,
now I'm a New Yorker, so I feel obligated to at least talk about Biggie because Biggie was influential.
Yes.
He brought New York back. I mean, Nas did with Illmatic, but Biggie took it to a whole nother level.
Yes.
His lyrics, his charisma, his voice was amazing.
Home Alone 1 or 2?
Hold on. I'm not done.
Oh, you still going?
I'm going Tupac. Because I told you I love grinders, and there's no Tupac song where I just don't feel every emotion he's feeling while he's delivering. Yeah. And that does something for me.
Yeah, man. Rose that came from concrete. Home Alone 1 or 2?
Oh, that's easy. I'd rather go to France than New York City. Home Alone 1. Dude. How crazy is that? Imagine leaving your kid and you're in France and your kid's in Chicago by himself. That's a crazy plot. In New York City, we could get back in,
Well, they were in Florida in the second one. Florida.
They were Florida?
In the second one, they went to Florida, and it was
no, I got my cities mixed up.
You're
my
good,
bad.
man. You going?
But the one thing about two, you had the Walkman where he recorded stuff and he could play it.
It's the talk. It's called the Talk About.
That was my favorite Christmas present.
Me too.
Santa brought that for me.
Yeah. Do you believe in aliens?
Oh man, yes. It's got to be something out there, man. It's not just us.
It's got to be.
Without a doubt.
Gotta be. Nice. All right. Well,
what's up, man.
Let's move forward here. Let's go. We got a little bit more time. We're running a little light, a little tight on time here. We got about
It's all
10
good.
more minutes. We
All
want
right.
to keep it good. So let's just touch quick on the culture segment about the holiday season, kind of what that means to you and what you're looking at doing this holiday season and what your plans look like.
Plans kind of, well, I guess kind of similar to Thanksgiving, so it's a weird time, weird era, we're in the quarantine, phase of our this has been the most stagnant, most unpredictable, unprecedented time that we've all ever experienced. I don't think, I'm trying to think how far back anybody alive can go, but this is no, seriously, like.
No, I'm with you, but it's just when you say it like that, it hits you, man.
You think about it. What could compare to this era? Maybe like, the stock market crash.
When? Which one?
The Black Friday.
What are you saying?
Black Friday. What was that? The 1920.
The Black Plague. The plague.
No, I'm not. I'm just talking about the significance. I'm not talking about every illness. I'm talking about the significance on culture.
About the actual depression that hit in the 1920s.
Straight up.
I don't know, man.
The significance. Anyway,
we're staying around Florida too. We're just chilling. Got family.
People are dying. Yeah. So my mom, she's up north. Family's up north.
What are you eating? I'm a food guy. So what do you eat?
Shoot. For Thanksgiving, we had a Friendsgiving on Tuesday, so we had all the traditional stuff. And then we cooked pasta on Thursday.
You did like a pasta dinner, right?
Yeah. For this one, I haven't thought about. I want a ham. I don't know how to cook a ham, but I got
you cook YouTube. A ham. You just put it in the oven.
I got that. Glaze it with honey, right?
Yeah, we're doing a prime. We do a prime rib every year. So I usually smoke a prime rib.
Smoke it?
Yeah, I dry age it though, so I wrap it in cheesecloth. I got to go pick it up tomorrow for like a week.
Yo, why don't you come over to the crib, man? Bring some of that over.
I don't know, maybe.
I got the pool popping.
Erica makes a lasagna too, so we got the.
Okay. Oh, that'll be good. That's a nice good combo.
Yeah, and then maybe just a light salad on the side. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. So I'm just. Oh, last was it New Year's Eve or did we go Christmas Eve? Did we go golfing Christmas Eve?
A couple years ago, I thought.
Yeah.
Was it last year? No, it was 2 years ago.
Let's do it again, man.
I'm going golfing next week. You want to go? We'll go. We'll talk about that.
What day?
Tuesday.
For those of you who don't know, the last time Marty and I golfed, I was up like 3 strokes going in the 18th, and I hit 2 into the water, and he ended up beating me by 1. It was rough.
Consistency. What can I say?
He had a 69. I had a 70.
Yeah, it's consistent. Both great days. Great days.
Crazy.
No big deal. No big deal. Let's get to this last segment here. Real talk or fugazi.
Ooh, all right. Real talk or fugazi. Let's explain it real quick. Yep. We got 4 statements. 4 statements, and I'm gonna say them. I'm gonna say, I'll say them all 4, and I'm gonna let Marty determine whether or not that's legit. He'll say real talk, or if that's not true, that's not real. Whether or not it's fugazi. Yeah. So all right, here we go. All right. It's mandatory to be freshly dressed when attending holidays with the fam. Like, you got to be sharp. Fresh cut.
I want to say fresh cut.
New outfit.
New outfit, no, because you already should have it on deck.
Okay.
But fresh cut for sure. Like fresh cut. So I'm going to say real talk on the fresh cut, but then like freshly dressed, like pressed and everything like that. Like I already got it on deck if I need to get dressed up.
I'm real talk all the way through.
Yep.
My wife's family, my wife's family, they wear not at all. They're the opposite. They be fugazi. They be all in sweatpants.
Oh, they do sweatpants. Yeah.
I'm in my jeans. I'm in the
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. But all right, next one. Ugly sweaters are the best part of the holiday season.
Only if they're homemade. If they're homemade. See, I do them sometimes like cotton ball, like make them. It's great.
I'll be honest, I got bougie, man.
You did. You bought them. You got one.
I got bougie.
Are you wearing one?
I've always bought them.
Okay, and you wear one.
But I used to buy them from the thrift store.
Yeah.
So I felt like I was contributing. I thought I was doing all right.
Yeah.
And it was cheap. You know, it was authentic.
Yeah.
Man, the last one I bought was fresh. It has lights and stuff. It says ugly. It's
$64.99.
Nah, it was from Target, but you know, still
from Target.
Target. I'm bougie. All right, here we go. Hiring a personal trainer will make your child a better athlete in his or her sport.
Depends on the trainer. But I'm gonna say fugazi.
Okay.
Whether kid's got it or he doesn't.
See, I say fugazi for a different reason. I think you got to play. You know,
that's what I mean. Like you got to play. Either you can play or you can't.
But you can develop that.
Yeah, but you got to play. You can't just lift.
You
can't be I'm not trying to be the best at lifting weights, right? Or exercise.
Yeah, you can't be the best lift weighter. You can't be the best shooter. Like, if you can't get open, you can't score.
Yeah,
means you can't be successul.
Yeah. Not like these guys that do these, like these. I love these things on Instagram. I see these guys that do these cone drills with the kids. There's like 35 cones out there. Good defense.
Thing.
No
good
defense.
Thing. Good thing there's cones out on the basketball court. That's awesome.
That's how you get better. No, I mean, it's fun. And there's a time and a place. I'm not knocking it. Like, I think it's great for the kids to get out and play and practice. But at the same time, you got to play against other kids if you really want to become good.
I agree. And last but not least, all right, Adidas has finally surpassed Nike as the best brand in the U.S.
Real talk right now. Real talk.
Ooh. Explain yourself. What do you got? You're the easy guy.
I've been an Air Max dude my whole life. I rocked Air Maxes today. Yeah. I'd rather wear my Boost.
Okay, you're a Boost guy.
The Boosts are just fresh. Like clean. The lines are clean. They're not like, you know how Air Maxes can be a little bit blockish, like a little chunky feeling. These are not chunky, man. They're just clean, smooth. I love them, man. I'm going
Fugazi. I'm a ride or die Nike guy. As long as LeBron's Nike, I'm in. And Nike's got that other dude, that Jordan dude.
He's pretty cool. But we didn't put Jordan brand on there, did we?
It's a subsidiary. How you ever say that word?
Subsidiary.
Yeah, that guy. It's part of Nike.
Well, we want to drop a couple jewels here. We got a little bit of time here. We can drop.
Let's keep going for a little bit.
All right.
You want to talk about high school football? Yeah. So usually here's the deal. So after this real talk or Fugazi segment, we move on to the what's the deal segment. We pick a current event that's going on. I guess this is like still current event, but the impact, and we talk about the impact and what's going on and what legit is the deal with this situation. And
it's a big one. This is a big one right here,
bro. Like they announced it a while ago in August, and all of this stuff's going into place. But the situation is football, high school football, and all of fall sports are being pushed to the spring.
Yep.
And what's the deal with that?
I mean, obviously COVID is the reasoning, but at the same time, it's sports are not directly, there's studies on it. Like contact sports and sports themselves and competition themselves are not directly impacting the cases that are being spiked in the areas. And it's all the other things. It's the car ride there. It's the car ride home. It's the dinner at Jimmy's the night before. It's the going out to a restaurant and sitting and eating and, with your family and friends or whatever. It's these social gatherings that people are getting together too much that's causing this thing to continue to kind of, just kind of stifle the spread. And we're just spreading, you know what I mean? Still. And it's just, I think that high school, like obviously liability plays a big part. I mean, my wife's an athletic director, down here. She's had numerous conversations about, that the fall, but Florida pushed through and they played football where, some states did not. They chose not to. And a lot of good states in the Northeast, really, I mean, it's a shame for a lot of those kids up there from Maryland all the way up to Maine, basically.
Marty, what type of athlete, what type of lacrosse player are you recruiting?
A dual sport athlete, if I can.
100%. I'm glad you said that. That was freestyle. That wasn't prep. Just to let you guys know, all the viewers. Um, Dang, imagine all the football players that play.
Oh, now they gotta choose.
Yo, that's not cool, man.
Nah,
That's
no,
cool.
and I've heard a lot from recruits that a lot of it is being like it's gonna carry over 2 weeks into their spring season. Like, so they're gonna in like New York State, they're saying like you can't play 2 sports in the same season.
There's
rules like that.
Luckily 35 states. Well, include I don't know if it's include. We got 51 states, which includes DC. So 50 states and then DC. 35 of those regions allowed their fall sports to play in the fall.
Yeah.
There were 16 states that postponed those fall sports, football in particular, to the spring. That's tough, man. That's going to be a logistical nightmare. That's going to be, a really tough decision for families and players. I get it. I'm a bit, I wear my mask everywhere. I'm a proponent of doing whatever we can within reason to decrease the amount of spreading of this virus. I am 100% empathetic and sympathetic of everybody going through some economic or health hardships due to this pandemic.
I mean, the Christmas season, like when we really think about it, I don't want to cut you off, but I have to. Like, count your blessings this Christmas season, because there's some people right now that don't have enough money to get their kids anything for Christmas, or
without a doubt,
you know what I mean? Like there's people right now that can't pay their rent. They're worried about eating, and we kind of live in this bubble sometimes when you're successful and you're doing your thing, and it can kind of get a little bit, hey, like, you got to look a little bit further down the line and say, how do we pay it forward, right?
Agreed.
So just one thing I did this year is I made sure I donated to a couple different charities and just gave a little bit, to some things. And, I'm not saying pressure on anybody to do that. I'm just saying, like, if you had any extra means, find out a way to help your local community, find out a way to help people, because we're talking about sports and all these other things here. But then at the same time, a lot of those kids have to come home, and if they come home to a place where dad and mom don't have jobs, it's then that turns into a bad situation. And that's why cool. Sports save you. Sports can save you.
Well, that's where I was going to bring it back. Yeah. And that's the whole part. Like, it seemed superficial on the outside when we're going through this to be disappointed that fall sports aren't playing. But this is a microcosm of life. This is how our youth learns how to be a teammate, how to work within a team, how to be goal-oriented, how to become a leader, how to follow, how to submit, how to take orders, how to give, like these are life lessons that are so important than a lot of things. And, I guess, I'm not knocking anybody that opted out of playing professionally or playing collegiately, or parents that didn't want their kids to play club ball this fall. I get it. But regardless of the reason, regardless of, what you think about the virus, I remember when my kids were at home from March to May this year.
To August.
Well, we get out in May.
Oh, right? March to May. I'm just talking about
the rest of the school year.
Yeah.
Bro, it was a waste of time. And these kids won't interact with everybody. They were, we were struggling, man. It was tough.
TikTok was big.
They regressed. We don't do that. We don't do that. We got Sony PlayStation. That's in the garage, locked up. But yeah, man. It's been a blessing for me to be able to teach and coach this whole fall. We've been as safe as possible. I had to quarantine one time, didn't have it, got tested or whatever, but somebody in my class came down with it. It is what it is. We're trying to stop the spread, right?
Yeah.
We can't control the virus. Hopefully this vaccine works. But yeah, man.
No doubt.
let's drop some jewels on them. I'll give you 15 seconds. Drop a jewel.
Yeah,
So what's the closing remark?
I got a jewel. I'm gonna hit you with some musical jewels here. If you haven't listened to Benny the Butcher and the Griselda movement with Conway the Machine, West Side Gun, 38 Special, Flea Lord. These dudes are out of Western New York, Buffalo, and Rochester area. More Buffalo, and bringing hip hop kind of full circle back to just, you know, real storytelling, real bars, real metaphors, and it's just great beats by Alchemist, Derringer, a lot of up and coming beat makers as well. And I'm stuck on this 38 Special 1995, 10 tracks, every beat's from 1995, and Special just goes off on it. So peep those guys.
Hey, he's not lying when he says he's stuck on it. He sent me a song every day for the last few days, man. And they're fire. The beats, oh, come on, man. 90s beats, let's go. You know, my jewel, man, is just, you know, understand that this has been a hard time. Support local as much as possible. I know I'm a huge fan of going to the movie theaters, and I know those guys are having a tough time. I see, you know, Netflix is coming, Amazon Prime, all the streaming stuff was already, you know, hurting motion pictures in the theater, and then COVID hits, and you know, I just know that there's HBO Max now, or I think that's what it's called, where motion pictures are going for you to stream. But when things do open up, and when, you know, COVID is controlled to the point where everybody feels comfortable, get out there and support those motion pictures, man. I don't want to sit here 10 years from now and be like, we don't go to the movies with other people anymore, you know.
Go get your popcorn and get your Sprite.
Get that popcorn.
Popcorn, Sprite, and snow caps. I'm in.
Amen, bro.
I'm in. All right, man. Well, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, bro. I'll talk to you soon.
Yep.
Holla, man. Let me, man. Yep.
You good?
One.